This is Akashvani Mangaluru. Dear listeners, in today's Talk in English program now, we will listen to Dr. Aarti S. Bhatt Suratkal, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, Nitte Mahalinga Adyantaya Memorial Institute of Technology, Nitte, Karnataka. Speaking on the topic, the need for adherence to values in present education system.
Sa Vidya Ya Vimuktaye, a meaningful Sanskrit verse which translates to education is that which uplifts the soul. The modern education system, backed by the National Education Policy, envisions providing quality education while building upon India's traditions and value systems. The policy lays particular emphasis on the development of the creative potential of each individual, which draws inspiration from ancient and rich Indian education systems led by world-class institutions such as Takshashila, Nalanda, Vikramashila, and Vallabhi. The aim of these institutions was not just acquisition of knowledge for living a worldly life, but for the complete realization and liberation of the self. Unfortunately, the essence of education is slowly being forgotten, and instead it is looked upon as a money-minting opportunity. The educational institutions are more engrossed in infrastructure and facility development, such as providing modern technology classrooms, outdoor stadium, indoor stadium, dance, music, and foreign languages, rather than concentrating on the long-term impact of education on the holistic development of a child. With these facilities, the students are expected to get bright marks and perform as an all-rounder. However, the result is not always as expected. Gone are the days when youngsters naturally showed respect to elders in their words and behavior. In my teaching field, I feel the students' environment lacks enthusiasm and curiosity, and most of the time they remain clueless of their future. Lack of self-confidence and inability to handle difficult situations has led in so many social crimes like communal violence, theft, murder, sexual harassment, and suicide. The society is crumbling. If we take a look into the core of these problems, we realize that fault lies right in the beginning in shaping our children who are the future responsible citizens. The void lies in the education system, and this void can be filled only by adhering to ethical values. The main motto of education is to bring out individuals who are able to face life's challenges courageously and lead an ideal and exemplary life. This is possible only by inculcating ethical values, as mere study of books or religious scriptures can just shape one's action but cannot shape a person. The process of registering ethical values in brain starts right from the day a child is born. An infant gets his first lessons on ethical values by his parents, elders, and neighbors. However, formation of nuclear families, absence of elders in the family, and working parents deprive a child of this basic knowledge. Hence, in his prime childhood, when a child joins a school, it becomes a responsibility as well as priority of the education system to groove the child correctly so that he can be a better person to face a better tomorrow. Developing a child's character becomes a prime duty of the educational system. An individual's overall development is a summation of physical development, mental development, intellectual development, social development, and spiritual development, each playing a specific role in tailoring the character. Physical development speaks about the vigor and perseverance to perform a physical task. It also means the pleasure of having a body free from diseases. Mental development is to keep the mind free from evil thoughts and to incline it towards good thoughts. Memory, reasoning, comparison, decision making, creativity, and imagination are some of the traits of intellectual development. Social development describes one's relationship with family, neighborhood, society, country, world, and towards the whole creation. Spiritual development pursues awakening of good tendencies, selfless service, and abiding by one's own duty. A spiritually developed person treats the whole society as a gigantic form of God. A man becomes complete only when he has mastered all these 5 phases of development. There is no second thoughts to say that this mastery can be achieved only by adhering to ethical values. Now, the question arises as to what are these ethical values and can they be taught? If asked to list out love, truth, compassion, tolerance, selfless service, self control, forgiveness, contentment, generosity, fortitude, and asceticism are some of the core ethical values which are manifested by human qualities like being disciplined, cheerful, cultured, modest, industrious, dedicated, self confident, resolute, courageous, and hospitable. There is a saying, hammer the iron when it is hot. The basic ethical values must be impressed upon the child from the childhood. The earlier, the better. The mind of a child is like a blank page. Whatever is written stays in it, at least in a subconscious state. As the child grows, the brain develops, and it is the subconscious writings, whether good or bad, which determines each and every action taken and decision made in every little step of a person's life. It is a matter of great regret that in the initial 3 years, a child is not able to learn much from his first gurus, that is, parents, and in some cases, a single parent. In the modern world, joint families are being replaced by nuclear families where both parents work and hence have lesser time to spare with their kids. Also, the trend of having a single child has led to over-pampering of this child, making him a spoiled sport. It is not surprising that a parent wants to give the best to his child. Parents easily give in to their child's demands, and instead of developing a child, make him more lazy and resolute. No wonder. The worst things are committed with the best of intentions. It is this modern child which enters the education system. When the child first sets his foot to a school, he is in his prime childhood. At the outset, he is attracted by the environment and atmosphere of the institution, which should be much more than its physical location and surroundings. Creating a natural green atmosphere around the institution will indeed help, but it is also essential that the social and emotional atmosphere of the institution is also maintained. The rituals followed by the teachers and associated people, like punctuality, compassion, greeting others with a smile, speaking politely, listening to the child attentively, encouraging the children to share things, are some of the simple measures that can be practiced. Children have a natural tendency to identify themselves with their teachers or guru, whom they revere. Hence, they will imitate the elders, and this is the best way of teaching ethical values. In the early childhood, a teacher plays a vital role in teaching the ethical values parallel to subject matter. A teacher must be trained enough not to force the values on a child, but to glorify the values with enthusiasm and fun-filled activities. Play and learn should be the mantra. A teacher can teach the subjects by storytelling. The moral of the story at the end of each story must be highlighted and explained to the child in a simple and effective manner. Musical skit is another platform where children will inculcate the concepts with enjoyment. Other than this, teaching in the form of songs like patriotic songs, folk songs, and devotional songs also helps. The child must also be taught to celebrate and appreciate Indian festivals irrespective of his caste or religion. This strengthens the bond of brotherhood and mutual respect. The physical development is equally important. On a daily basis, a child should be involved in both indoor and outdoor sports activities. Sports not only teaches them team spirit, but also brings in balance by being able to celebrate victory and accept defeat equally. Further, activities like yoga, cleanliness drive, gardening draws a child closer to nature, closer to God. In late childhood or early teenage, the child starts reasoning and becomes decisive. He will have so many questions and ambiguity. His quest must be satisfied. His ample energy and several thoughts must be channelized in the right direction. Here again, a teacher's role is pivotal. The student at this stage must be motivated by stories of role models and by inspirational talks by eminent persons. He should be acquainted with his role in the betterment of the society by discussion and debates on common problems in society. During these discussions, he should be prompted to come up with remedial measures for the same. Visit to historical or spiritual or even religious places will further imprint the significance of moral conduct. In the words of C.S. Lewis, Education without values, as useful as it is, seems rather to make man a more clever devil. The significance of these words is clearly noticeable in the present society. Education must not be defined by place, gender, caste, creed, or religion. Memorizing religious scriptures and blindly following the sayings fosters prejudice. Education should be the light which shows you the way through your journey and restores faith in humanity. Humanity is killed when innocent people die in road accidents just because the educated driver did not obey traffic rules. Humanity is molested when girls are sexually harassed just because the educated rapist could not control his lust. Humanity is slaughtered when cities and places are bombed just because the educated terrorists believe in promoting religious supremacy. The root cause of any problem, however severe or simple, is lack of ethical values. It is evident that there is a strong and urgent need to adhere to ethical values for human culture and civilization to sustain. In view of this, the present education system must be able to transfer knowledge of established value systems and must possess the capacity to practice the value system. The present education system will taste success only when the student coming out of the system not only knows what is right but also develops the moral courage to do what is right. Vidyam dadati vinayam, vinayat yati patratam, patratvat dhanam apnoti, dhanat dharmam, tatah sukham. This means Vidya gives humility. Humility gets character. A good character begets wealth. Wealth can be used to do good deeds, which leads to happiness and bliss. Or, in other words, knowledge is the root cause of happiness. Thank you.
Dear listeners, you have just heard Dr. Aarti S. Bhatt Surathkal speaking on the subject, the need for adherence to values in present education system. This talk came to you from the studios of Akashawani Mangaluru.